What to do when a client dies. We're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com. That's a referral hub of all things house cleaning. So if you're looking for a list of recommended reading for house cleaners or how to run your house cleaning business, you'll find that at mycleaningconnection.com. You'll also find a list of favorite podcasts and different things that you might need for your house cleaning business, like uniforms and cleaning supplies. Anyway, check it out, mycleaningconnection.com. Okay, on to today's show, which is about what to do when a client dies. This is a question that came in recently from a house cleaner who had become very attached to a particular family, and then her client dies. And so she called me and she wanted to know, what am I supposed to do and what is the appropriate behavior for a house cleaner, because you don't want to merge the personal and the professional life. But is there an exception when someone dies? It's an excellent question. First of all, when somebody dies, we have to think of this. How did they die? And so there are a bunch of different emotions that come along with death. And so when somebody dies, let's say your client dies of cancer, there's this overwhelming sadness like, shucks, we wish we could have beat the cancer. How sad. It's such a tragedy. We wish we could do something, and yet we feel helpless. So there's a sense of helplessness. There's a sense of sadness. There's a sense of we wish more could have been done. And we're inspired to go out and donate to the local cancer charity. When someone commits suicide, it's a different set of emotions because we think, that's so selfish of them that they would take their own life. Or how sad that they didn't get the help that they needed. Or it was such a senseless tragedy or senseless loss of life. All right, so there's a different set of emotions that comes along with that than other than we just feel sad and helpless. Now we're a little bit angry. And then when somebody dies suddenly, let's say that it's a car accident and they're not sick and it's not intentional and it's just an accident, then there's a different set of emotions because it's not something we can donate to. This is not something that we can get angry about or express our feelings for. This is just like, oh my gosh. And then there's a state of panic. Did they have a life insurance policy? What is going to happen to the kids? And then, of course, there's how do I help them through this transition? Because, oh my goodness, it's a surprise for everyone and no one saw it coming. Whereas with a cancer patient, if it's stage 4 or something, and they think that there's a possibility that this is the end, people have a chance of getting their life affairs in order. So there are a lot of different emotions and feelings that come along with when a client dies. But another thing that nobody is really talking about is how does the house cleaner feel, because that is their income. So if you have a client and now they're no longer with us, you've lost that client and you've lost that account. So there's some kind of sadness as well as, oh my goodness, I need to replace that income and get a new, and you don't want to be thinking of that because your feelings are truly with the family. So there's a lot of emotions that are going on, and it's really important in that moment to realize that you are the house cleaner, and the house cleaner is not a member of the family. And so while it's really easy to jump in there, and our tendency as house cleaners, we want to help. We want to be there to comfort people. Our specialty is we make people's lives better. And so while you're there and this family is going through all of these emotions and there's chaos and they're trying to plan a funeral and family is coming in, they might rely on you to help get the house ready for company or to help put things away of the deceased one or whatever. They're going to rely on you. But the truth of the matter is you're not a member of their family. And unless you're a licensed therapist, it is not your job to rescue them or to help them through the grieving process. And so while they're dealing with their own emotions, it's okay for you to deal with your own. But let's say that it's a suicide. It's not okay for you to come in and say, well, that's shameful. I can't believe that they did that. Like, why would they take their own life? That's so senseless. Please don't say anything like that because it's really insensitive. And if it's a person who died of cancer, yeah, we know they died of cancer. We knew it was coming. The family's been dealing with this for a long time. To come in and wish that things were different is not going to be helpful to anyone. And so during these times where you're so sad and you are processing your own emotions, it's best for you to grieve alone. And then when you get to the client's house, be a person of help. How can I help you? And like I say, don't try to rescue them. Don't try to help them through their grieving process. Because like I say, you're not licensed and you're not qualified to do that. You can show compassion. I understand this is a difficult time. How can I be of assistance? and then let that be. Don't meddle. Don't try to overextend yourself. Don't give away free cleanings, and don't insert yourself in places that you don't belong. Because the family, yes, there's a lot of upside down emotions going on, and they need to process that first. Whether or not they retain you is going to determine whether or not you still have a job, but your job is not to come in and make everything right. If they hire you and they need you to help clean, make that right. But your job as a house cleaner is not to fix whatever's going on in their life. Now, should you go to the funeral? There's a question that comes up a lot, and the answer is it's up to you. Every situation is a little bit different. And if you are the business owner and you are able to get off work, then I would say yes, go to the funeral and support the family. And if you're not able to get off work and you're an employee, you're probably not going to be able to get off work to go to the client's funeral. And so in that case, I would send a card. And I would say, hey, I'm thinking about you guys. My thoughts and prayers are with your family at this time. And just letting them know that you care is enough. I know, again, as house cleaners, we want to do so much. And this is not the time to do so much. Just be present and be available, and don't overextend yourself. Because the family will lean on other family members, and they will lean on friends. And they might lean on you too. But let them make that decision, not you. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.